Manchester City win fifth Premier League title in 6 years after Arsenal's 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Pep Guardiola's side will lift trophy after Sunday's match against Chelsea, live on Sky Sports. Manchester City have won the Premier League title for a fifth time in 6 seasons after Arsenal's defeat at Nottingham Forest on Saturday. The result leaves Manchester City with an insurmountable 4-point lead at the top of the table over the Gunners, who have just one game remaining this season. A sensational run of 11 consecutive wins in the final weeks of the season has seen City dismantle Arsenal's charge for a first Premier League title since 2003-04. At one stage in January, City trailed Arsenal by 8 points, but the reigning champions have remained unbeaten since a 1-0 loss at Tottenham on February 5, during which time Mikel Arteta's side stuttered. Pep Guardiola's team faced Chelsea on Super Sunday, live on Sky Sports, in their final home game of the season, where they will once again lift the trophy they have retained for the third season in succession. City are now 2 victories away from completing a Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League treble, a feat only achieved once in English football by Manchester United in 1998-99. City faced Manchester United in the FA Cup final on June 3, before playing Inter Milan in the Champions League final on June 10 as they look to lift the European Cup for the first time. Manchester City celebrated their Premier League title on Sunday with a comfortable 1-0 win over Chelsea at the Etihad Stadium. With the trophy already in the bag thanks to Arsenal's 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest on Saturday, Pep Guardiola took the opportunity to rest a number of his stars, but an early goal from Julian Alvarez was still enough to win the game. City fans, who raced onto the pitch at the final whistle, spent most of the day celebrating their 5th title in the past 6 years, but Guardiola can't allow much time for celebration. The City manager will now look to refocus his players as they go in search of the FA Cup and Champions League, hoping to complete what would be a historic treble. 1. Alvarez shows the strength of champion City. There are plenty of reasons why City have won the title this season, but among them is Alvarez. The striker, picked up from River Plate for less than £15 million last January, has had to be Erling Haaland's support act for most of his first year in England, but he has still chipped in 18 goals, including one here against Chelsea. The 23-year-old was one of Argentina's best players at the World Cup, scoring twice in the semi-final against Croatia, and would walk into most other teams in the world. At City, he has had to be patient and make the most of any opportunities that have come his way. He was on the pitch for only a matter of minutes against Real Madrid on Wednesday, but still scored the 4th goal to put the icing on an irresistible team performance. However it ends, Alvarez is unlikely to forget the 2022-23 season in a hurry. In December, he became a world champion alongside Lionel Messi in Qatar, and he has already added a Premier League winner's medal to his trophy cabinet. He could yet end the campaign with the FA Cup and Champions League as well, turning City's potential treble into his own personal club/country quadruple. 2. Guardiola looking ahead to 2 cup finals. This probably wasn't the team Guardiola planned to pick when he thought victory over Chelsea would seal the title, but Arsenal's defeat to Nottingham Forest on Saturday night meant he could get a head start ahead of trips to Wembley and Istanbul. He made 9 changes from the 11 that demolished Real Madrid on Wednesday in the Champions League, with only Kyle Walker and Manuel Akanji keeping their places. Calvin Phillips was handed his first Premier League start since playing for Leeds United against Brentford a year ago, while goalkeeper Stefan Ortega, defender Sergio Gomez and forward Cole Palmer were also drafted in. Guardiola said the changes were to reward his squad players with minutes they deserve, but it's hard to imagine he hasn't already got an eye on the FA Cup final against Manchester United and Champions League final against Inter. 3. Pochettino's task laid out at the Etihad. It looks likely that Mauricio Pochettino will be the man charged with rebuilding Chelsea.